Все, онлайн-трансляція почалась, ви можете розпочинати.
Добре, дякуємо. Шановні колеги, доброго дня. Сьогодні 2 листопада 2023 року. Практично 12:00, 11:58 показує у мене на ноутбуці. І дозвольте розпочати засідання. Відповідно до рішення Вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету номер 15 від 21 квітня 2023 року та наказу ректора номер 443К від 22.08.2023 року у Сумському національному аграрному університеті утворено спеціалізовану вчену раду для прийняття для розгляду та проведення разового захисту дисертації Юй Цзіцзянь на тему Development of the Sport Industry in the Condition of Geo-Economic Challenges, розвиток спортивної індустрії в умовах геоекономічних викликів, на здобуття ступеню доктора філософії у галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Склад спеціалізованої вченої ради. Голова ради Славкова Олена Павлівна, доктор економічних наук, професор, завідувач кафедри публічного управління та адміністрування, Сумський національний аграрний університет. Рецензент Харченко Тетяна Олександрівна, кандидат економічних наук, доцент кафедри публічного управління та адміністрування, Сумський національний аграрний університет. Опоненти. Штулер Ірина Юр'ївна, доктор економічних наук, професор, перший проректор вищого навчального закладу Національної академії управління, місто Київ. Іртищева Інна Олександрівна, доктор економічних наук, професор кафедри менеджменту, Національний університет кораблебудування імені адмірала Макарова, місто Миколаїв. Леонов Ярослав Володимирович, доктор економічних наук, доцент, професор кафедри менеджменту фізичної культури, Харківська державна академія фізичної культури, місто Харків. Посади членів спеціалізованої вченої ради вказані на дату захисту дисертаційної роботи. Прошу зареєструватися, шановні рецензенти та опоненти. Ми підготовили реєстраційний лист, будь ласка. Голова Славкова Олена Павлівна присутня, рецензент Харченко Тетяна Олександрівна присутня з допомогою відеозв'язку, опоненти Штулер Ірина Юр'ївна присутня за допомогою відеозв'язку, опонент Іртищева Інна Олександрівна присутня за допомогою відеозв'язку, Леонов Ярослав Володимирович присутній за допомогою відеозв'язку. Отже, на підставі реєстраційної карти присутні 5 членів спеціалізованої вченої ради із 5 затверджених наказом ректора номер 443К від 22.08.2023 року. Кворум необхідний для засідання є, і ми маємо право і всі офіційні підстави для того, щоб розпочати наше засідання. І відповідності до вище переліченого засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради оголошую відкритим. Сьогодні на порядку денному у нас захист дисертації на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії, аспіранта кафедри економіки та підприємництва імені професора Івана Миколайовича Брюховицького Сумського національного аграрного університету Юй Цзіцзянь на тему Development of the Sport Industry in the Condition of Geo-Economic Challenges, розвиток спортивної індустрії в умовах геоекономічних викликів за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Дисертаційну роботу виконано у Сумському національному аграрному університеті. Науковий керівник, доктор економічних наук, професор Медвідь Вікторія Юріївна. До спеціалізованої вченої ради надійшли наступні документи. Заява про проведення атестації здобувача, копія першої сторінки паспорта громадянина Китайської Народної Республіки, копія диплома магістра, витяг з наказу про зарахування до аспірантури, засвідчений у встановленому порядку, академічна довідка про виконання відповідної освітньої наукової програми, висновок наукового керівника доктора економічних наук професора Медвідь Вікторії Юрівни, висновок про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертаційного дослідження, дисертацію у друкованому та електронному виглядах, відбитки копії наукових публікацій, зарахованих за тему дисертації і засвідчених у встановленому порядку. Усі документи відповідають встановленим вимогам. Дисертація до захисту подається вперше. Хто за такий порядок денний, прошу голосувати. Хто за? Будь ласка, піднімайте ручку, або там жовтеньке відображаєте. Добре, дякую. Хто проти? Хто утримався? Немає. Значить, пропозиція приймається. В відповідності дозвольте мені зачитати біографічні дані аспіранта. Юй Цзіцзянь, 1984 року народження, громадянин Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища. У 2010 році закінчив Фудзянський педагогічний університет Китайської Народної Республіки за спеціальністю фізичне виховання. У 2018 році вступив до аспірантури Сумського національного аграрного університету місто Суми, Україна за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Аспірантуру закінчив у 2022 році. Сумський національний аграрний університет, Міністерство освіти і науки України, міста Суми. Дисертацію виконано у Сумському національному аграрному університеті, Міністерства освіти і науки України, місто Суми. Тема дисертації затверджена на засіданні вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету, протокол номер 7 від 26 грудня 2018 року. Та перезатверджена протоколом номер 6 від 4 листопада 2022 року. Юй Цзіцзянь завершив виконання освітньо-наукової програми у 2022 році. 7 лютого 2023 року відбулася публічна презентація дисертаційного дослідження на кафедрі економіки та підприємництва імені професора Івана Миколайовича Брюховецького за спеціальністю номер 73 менеджмент, де дисертацію було рекомендовано до розгляду та захисту у разовій спеціалізованій вченій раді. Основні наукові положення та результати досліджень за темою дисертації опубліковано у 14 наукових працях, з них 4 статті у фахових наукових виданнях України, 1 стаття опублікована в науковому виданні «Фокус», 1 стаття у міжнародному виданні, 8 тез у матеріалах наукових конференцій. Наукові публікації відповідають вимогам пункту 8 і 9 порядку присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти, наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії, постанова Кабінету міністрів України від 12 січня 2022 року номер 44. Дисертація відповідає вимогам наказу МОН України номер 40 від 12.01.2017 року про затвердження вимог до оформлення дисертації та порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії та постанова Кабінету міністрів України від 12 січня 2022 року номер 44. Чи є, скажіть, будь ласка, шановні члени спеціалізованої вченої ради, питання якісь до здобувача і до представлення його? Немає питань?
Немає.
Немає, так, дякую. Значить, із здобувачем погоджено, що захист дисертаційної роботи буде проводитися англійською мовою. Ну і до викладу основних результатів дослідження слово надається аспіранту. To present the main result of the research, the word is given to graduate student Юй Цзіцзянь. Please.
Okay. Hello, dear experts. Today my report's name is Development of China's Sports Industry in the Conditions of Geoeconomic Challenges. My name is Yuy Czyiang and my supervisor's name is Victoria Midweight. There are 4 parts in my report today. Part 1 is background and significance of the selected topic. Research background. Nowadays, with the gradual imbalance of wealth distribution, international trade, resource endowment, and the consumption in the world wide, the competition in the fields of finance, science, and technology between the world's major geoeconomic plates are intensifying day by day. The conflicts between winner and loser has become more and more serious. The core of the geoeconomic economy is industry. Therefore, the geoeconomic competition in the world mainly revolves all around industries today. China's sports industry is inevitably facing all-around challenges, which includes trade, investment, technology, finance, and even economic sanctions from established countries. Under this background, it is urgent to re-examine and plan the development of China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics. Basis for topic selection. 1. Facing fierce geoeconomic competition and adjustment, the upgrading of China's sports industry and the global value chain needs to be integrated into China's geoeconomic strategy. 2. Compared with Western developed countries, the current development of China's sports industry is still in the primary stage. Due to the market of the sports industry is imperfect, it needs a long process to adjust the market mechanism and select the advantageous sports industry. 3. Nowadays, China's sports industry has to face a series of problems, such as more complicated macro geoeconomic pattern, diplomatic relations between countries, economic policies of other countries, and the intervention of the third countries. Therefore, it is necessary to research China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics. The aims of the research. There are several aims for the research. The specific aims of the research are as follows. 1. To figure out the constitution of the international competitiveness of China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics. 2. To establish an evaluation index system about the international competitiveness of China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics. 3. To choose the advantageous sports industry. 4. By analyzing geoeconomic challenges faced by the advantageous sports industry, this paper gives some recommendations and finds out the path for the development of the advantageous sports industry. In general, this paper hopes to guide and drive China's sports industry to adapt to the international geoeconomic pattern, the needs of the global value chain, and industrial divisions of labor, so as to promote the development of China's economy. To promote the implementation of China's geoeconomic strategy and maintain internal needs and national economic, political, and cultural, theoretical, and methodological industry. Furthermore, the characteristics of geoeconomic of the sports industry, which are based on adaptation to the new international geoeconomic mode, determination of the needs of the global value chain and the industrial divisions of labor in order to form advantageous sports industry. Improve. Compared with the existing research and practice, this paper builds a system for assessing the level of international competitiveness of China's sports industry by using the AHP method. Based on the system, This paper finally determined the advantageous sports industry by FCE method to be further developed based on the formation of an evaluation system of strategic positioning of the industry. This paper proposed a generalized method and theory which can ensure the international competitiveness of China's sports industry. At the same time, such a novelty method and in theory can also diagnose problems timely and provide constructive methods effectively. Practical significance of the results obtained. Research plays a role. This research plays a role of bridge between geoeconomic theory and practice, while enriching the theory system of geoeconomics. This research also improves the application value of geoeconomic theory. 1. Index system construction and comprehensive evaluation have practical value for improving the international competitiveness of China's sports industry. 2. The selection and research on the advantageous sports industry can help it integrate into the national geoeconomic strategy with its inherent industrial competitive advantages. Part 2. Research methods. There are three important research methods were used in this paper. They are Delphi method, HP method, which based on group decision making, fuzzy comprehensive evaluation method. We can also call it FCE. Part 3. Research results and analysis. There are three sections in this part. Section 1. Theoretical research. Related definitions. The sports industry, based on the guidance of the economic theory and the purpose for this study. This paper believes the definition of the sports industry is a collection of economic activities of sports and its related industries, and to engage in similar economic activities as a standard, namely the collection of production and business activity of sports and related industries carried out by various social departments. The definition of international industrial competitiveness. According to the definition of competitiveness of the industry before, this paper believes that the international industrial competitiveness is a comprehensive ability to survive, compete, and develop in the process of international competition, which is the main body of a country's industrial competition. This ability is manifested in many aspects, including realistic productivity, such as market share and resource allocation efficiency, and potential competitiveness, such as in innovation ability and structural transformation ability. Related theory bases. There are four important theoretical bases used in this paper. They are geoeconomic theory, comparative advantages theory, and competitive advantages sports theory, and Michael-Porter-Diamond mode theory. Section 2. Research on the choice of China's advantageous sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics. Firstly, the establishment of the international competitiveness evaluation system of China's sports industry from the perspective of the geoeconomics. From the figure, we can see, according to the Porter-Diamond mode theory, this evaluation index system selects 7 primary indicators. At the same time, we also select 30 secondary indicators preliminarily. As shown in the figure, finally, through the Delphi method and after 2-round expert investigation, this paper finally determined the international competitiveness evaluation index system of China's sports industry, which consists of 27 secondary indicators from the perspective of geoeconomics. 2. Evaluation of the international competitiveness of China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics by the AHP method based on group decision making. To avoid the disadvantage that the traditional AHP method is susceptible to the subjective influence of a single expert when constructing the judgment matrix. This paper decides to use the method of AHP based on group decision making for research. In the table, we can find, according to the information of 3 indicators: education background, professional title, and working years. This paper obtains the subjective weight of each expert. After steps of constructing the judgment matrix, solving the judgment matrix by using sum product method, consistency check, results aggregation, conclusion of AHP based on group decision making, and data processing results by using the YAMP software. This paper finally obtains the weight of each indicator. There are 26 weights of indicators, and we can also give them different ranks. 3. The selection of China's advantageous sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics based on FCE. As the development of China's sports industry is still in the infancy period, relevant statistical work is not sound enough because most evaluation indicators are not absolute and precise enough. Fuzzy mathematics will be closer to the actual situation, which has a certain degree of ambiguity. Steps are as follows. Step 1. The FCE factor size obtained from the International Competitiveness Index system of China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics. Step 2. Constructing common sites. There are 5 degrees, different degrees from excellent to very unqualified, 10 to 2. There are 5 degrees. From table we can see there are 5 degrees for rating. The statistics in the table we can find it describes the detail of recognition of experts. Step 3, building weight sites. Step 4, conduct fuzzy comprehensive evaluation on different sports industries. Step 5, performing compound operations on fuzzy metrics. And finally, step 6, constructing compound operations of fuzzy metrics to obtain comprehensive. For example, in the table, in the picture, we can see from, for example, the results shows in the evaluation of international competitiveness of China's sports competition and the performance industry from the perspective of geoeconomics. There are 20.25 of experts think it's excellent, and 32.32% of the experts think it's good. 28.95% of the experts think it's average, and 50.71% of experts think it's insufficient. Finally, 2.79% of experts believe that it is seriously insufficient. According to the above statistics and assignments of the index evaluation, in step 2, we can sequentially calculate the specific scores of each first-level index and the comprehensive evaluation results of the international competitiveness evaluation of China's sports competition and performance industry from the perspective of geoeconomics through expert questionnaire, survey, and calculation. Finally, in accordance with fuzzy evaluation process, this paper obtains the evaluation results of international competitiveness of different sports industries from the perspective of geoeconomy, which are as follow. Finally, we can find sports construction industry ranks last, and sports fitness and leisure industry ranks first, and sports competition and performance industry ranks the third, and the sports tourism industry ranks the second, and finally, sporting goods industry ranks one. That shows the most advantageous sports industry nowadays is sporting goods industry. Section 3, research on the development status and strategy of China's sports industry, sporting goods industry from the perspective of geoeconomics. Development status of China's sporting goods industry. By analyzing the current situation of China's sporting goods industry, this paper finds out the following advantages. 1. The growth rate of the sporting goods industry has become faster and faster. 2. There are still a lot of rooms for improvement in the status of the sporting goods industry in the national economy. 3. The industry concentration has been increasing gradually in the past. 4. The effects of industry clusters has become more obviously. 5. The repeat expansion of online sales channels. 6. Import or export of sporting goods begins to pick up as well. 7. Technical environment of the sporting goods industry is continuously optimized. 2. The economic challenges which China's sporting goods industry faces today. With the upgrading of the industrial structure and the continuous improvement of industrial competitiveness of China's sporting goods industry, China has inevitably touched the global monopoly profit of the high productivity established country. Especially in recent years, countries have begun to formulate systematic industrial policies to seize the opportunity of the restructuring the global industrial chain and supply chain. Currently, this paper believes that the geoeconomic challenges that China's sporting goods industry faces are as follows. 1. Trade barriers and trade frictions. 2. Challenges in the investment areas. 3. Challenges from markets, both domestic and abroad. 4. Technological blockade from the established countries. 5. Challenges in finance areas. 6. Economic sanctions from established countries. 3. Development strategies of China's sporting goods industry for perspective of geoeconomics. Compared to the inhibitory effects of geoeconomic challenges, this paper believes that geoeconomic competition also has the positive effect on China's sporting goods industry. Therefore, this part puts forward the following recommendations. 1. China's sporting goods industry should actively integrate into national geoeconomic strategy, strive for the right to speak in a standard setting, and seize the command heads of economic development. 2. Promoting trade liberalization and facilitation continuously. 3. Accelerating the construction of innovation and consortium mechanism of the sporting goods industry. 4. To accelerate the service-oriented process of the sporting goods industry. 5. To strengthen brand building. 6. Financial innovation of the driving force for the high-quality development of the sporting goods industry. 7. The idea of upgrade the sporting goods industry into a geo industry. From figure, we can find the path of the idea of upgrading the sporting goods industry into a geo industry. Summary. As the most competitive industry in China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics, the sporting goods industry is also an important manifestation of China's sports strengths and even comprehensive national strengths. In short term, China's sporting goods industry has to face a series of geoeconomic challenges. However, in the long run, a super large market and the most complex manufacturing industry system in the world are the basic advantages of China today. This paper believes that the practice of China's Belt and Road Initiative, RCEP, and other geoeconomic strategy has provided a solid guarantee for promote China's sporting goods industry, climb from the middle link of the international value chain to the two end. Most importantly, the growth pull effect of the sporting goods industry can effectively promoting the overall high-quality development of the sports industry, and later China developed from a big sports country into a real sport power. Oh, that's all. This is all my report. Jack, you experts.
Thank you. The report is complied. Please ask questions.
Okay, I will be the first.
Hello. Yeah, perfect.
Olena Pavlovna, may I?
Юй Цзіцзянь, please describe screen demo.
Okay.
Thank you. Please, Tatiana Harchenko.
Okay. First of all, I would like to say that I'm glad to take a part in this scientific event. As for this presentation is what very interesting for me. The topic of scientific research our speaker is actually irrelevant to the modern trends. And as for me, you present as interesting approaches to form a strategy for development of the sport industry in the context of geoeconomic challenges. But I have some questions. First of all, I would like to ask you, which method did you use in your scientific research?
Okay. There are four research methods mainly used in this paper. They are Delphi method, HP method, which is based on group decision making, and the fuzzy comprehensive evaluation method. Firstly, according to literature review and expert interviews based on Porter-Diamond mode, this paper uses Delphi method to construct a two-round questionnaire survey on 15 experts and determine the international competitiveness evaluation system of China's sports industry finally. Then, based on this evaluation system, this paper conducts the third round expert questionnaire to obtain a series of judgment metrics by using AHP method, which based on group decision making. This paper finally determined each indicator's weight. And after this paper uses the fuzzy comprehensive evaluation method to determine which sports industry is the most competitive or advantageous industry nowadays in China. So the first round questionnaire survey asked experts to give the score to various indicators. After calculation and statistics, finally I found the sporting goods industry nowadays is the most advantageous sports industry finally. Okay, these are the three most important methods I used in this paper. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, thank you so much. I satisfy your answer. My next question is, please present us more detailed characteristic of your scientific knowledge.
Okay. There are several research notices in my paper. Firstly, before the study, most previous research on sports industry were only purely from an economic or marketing view. In contrast, this paper chooses a new perspective of geoeconomics. This haven't happened before. So to study the development, the China sports industry is the novelty one. And two, coming with the geoeconomic theory and the border diamond mode. This paper constructs the evaluation system, index system of international competitiveness of China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics for the first time. Three, compared with the Western developed country, China's sports industry market is not so well developed, not so developed. By facing the increasing fierce and complex geoeconomic competition or conflicts, this paper believes that the development of China's sports industry cannot implement the big push type of all-around development strategy. It's important to select a key industry that is the advantageous sports industry, which with geoeconomic advantages and more international competitiveness, and give the priority to its development. On this basis, promoting other industries through the polarization effect and diffusion effect by the advantageous sports industry. Okay, that's all. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, thank you so much. I satisfy your answer. Dear
Thank you.
colleagues, continue.
Okay, please, Professor Stuller, Irina Yurievna.
Thank you, Elena Pavlovna. Thank you very much to our postgraduate student, Yuy. Thank you for a very interesting presentation about your research. However, I have a few questions for you. And the first one is, what is the relevance of the chosen research topic? Thank you.
Okay. The reason why I choose such a topic because first of all, the core of geoeconomy is industry, and the geoeconomic competition nowadays in road is mainly around the industries. In recent years, the geoeconomic competition or conflict represented by China and U.S. trade war and series of conflicts has been happening more and more around us, and it's foreseeable that with the upgrading of China's industry structure and the continuous improvement of industrial competitiveness, China's sports industry will face all-around or more fierce geoeconomic challenges from all aspects, such as trade, investment, technology, and even some economic sanctions from the established country, such as typically US. This means that in such a context, the increasingly fierce geoeconomic competition, marketing theory may not unable to guide the development of China's sports industry. We need a new theory. Meanwhile, from the perspective of geoeconomic strategy, the core value of sports industry development can also serve the international interests and the national geostrategy. To sum up, the core object of this study is to safeguard the national economic, political, and cultural security and interests from by China's sports industry. That's all. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. And I have and one more question. Please, in your research, you talked about a few methods you use in your research. And my question is, please describe the fuzzy complex evaluation method which you used in your research. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. The reason why I use this method because nowadays the development of China's sports industry is not so sound. It's still in the primary stage. Because most evaluation indicators have a certain degree of ambiguity and part-related statistics is not so complete. Therefore, fuzzy mathematics will be more closer to the actual situation of China's sports industry. As a comprehensive evaluation method, FCE method has characteristics of clear and systematic. It can solve vague and various non-determined questions or problems. After 4-round questionnaire investigation and steps of calculation, experts' evaluation results on the international competitiveness of China's sports industry finally can be found by this method. Okay, thank you, Professor.
Okay, thank you, Yuy. Olena Pavlovna, I am satisfied with the answer. There are no questions more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, Professor Irtisheva Inna Alexandrovna.
Thank you. I have 2 questions too. My first question, what are the features of the development of the sport industry in the condition of geo-economic challenges?
Thank you, Professor. In the context of increasingly fierce geo-economic competition, market competition theory can no longer purely or effectively get international competition in such a condition. Therefore, the sports industry needs a new theory, really more on the international mobilization mechanism, national system advantages, and related policies in fierce geo-economic competition. And behind all kinds of geo-economic challenges are not only transnational enterprises or corresponding economic activities, but also the will of a country behind such economic activities. In other words, the core goal of the sports industry development from the perspective of geo-economy is no longer simply for economic interests, but also for the dominant power to obtain national interests, which include economic, political, and cultural security, which can be achieved through the geo-economic means or tools, include talent, science, technology, capital, investment, trade, market, transnational cooperation information, and so on. 3. Compared with pure economic activities or economic interests, the geo-economy challenges the operating mechanism and environments are more complex. Therefore, the realization of all aspects of interests of the sports industry will not be achieved just in one night. It needs a long-term planning and layout for the country and the corresponding enterprise. Thank you, Professor. This is my answer.
Thank you. I agree. Thanks. I have the next question about how can the government influence the development of the sports industry or the role of the government. Look, please, slide 14.
Okay.
Please
First of
show.
all,
Please show.
14 slide.
here, okay. First of all, since 2013, because Chinese government put forward the Belt and Road strategy. Within the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative, government puts forward a series of documents and policy to support related development of sports industry. Secondly, a certain extent, the increasingly fierce and complex geoeconomic competition related to the market competition theory can no longer get the international competition nowadays. In contrast, national mobilization system is more conducive to formulating a more stable and supportable medium and long-term sports industry policy. Three, nowadays, for example, industry innovation has become more and more difficult, and its costs is getting higher and higher. So most private enterprises are not willing to or unable to support the cost of upgrading the sports industry. Therefore, the government has to play an important role in optimizing resource allocation and obtaining competitive advantages. For example, in Beijing Winter Olympics, China takes advantage of its national system to implement the Winter Olympic in science and technology, key research and development program. The government deployed nearly 1 billion RMB of national funds and launched more than 70 scientific research projects. It's more effective than private enterprise. Hundreds of scientific research institutes and enterprise were attracted to participate in. Fourth, social capital usually doesn't want to participate in the projects such as the construction of avenue and the sports infrastructure and mega sports events, which with high public welfare, wide benefits, and larger investment and long construction projects. Therefore, the effective organization and the government promotion of the states and the government became more important. Five, according to the statistics and the framework of the economic and technical assistance, China built more than 50 stadiums and gymnasiums in Africa with free assistance and a small number of interest-free loans. American World Policy magazine even called its China's stadium the policy of economic assistance. So that's my answer. Thank you, Professor.
No more questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, Professor Leonov Yaroslav Volodymyrovich.
Thank you. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Good afternoon, Yuy Czіцзянь. Thank you for your presentation, and I also have a question. Define the terms industrial competition, national competition, and international competition. What's the difference?
Okay, thank you for your question. Industrial competition, firstly, is the main carrier of economic competition among the country. Industrial competition is the result of comprehensive effect of a variety of factors, which includes resource endowment, technology, institutional policy, market demand, and other aspects. Second, national competition national competition. I want to say, with the end of the Cold War, the conflicts, geopolitics is gradually giving way to the competition of economy. The competition among countries has shifted from the past political and military arena to economic area. Therefore, nowadays, the essence of national competition is a context of comprehensive national strengths based on economic and technological strengths. The purpose of national competition expand the living space of a nation and obtain national interests. Three, international economic competition. It refers to the conflict of interests reflected in the international economic activities through the competition of companies, enterprises, or countries. International competition usually has two or more subjects mutual compete and mutual win. It also considers conflict of interest activities. The difference is that the industrial competition belongs to medium-level competition, and national competition belongs to macro level, and enterprise competition belongs to macro level. In terms of the connection between them, just like Professor Michael Porter said, the connection between three kinds of competitiveness, the international competitiveness has a hierarchy. It reflects in four levels: the international competitiveness of products, enterprise, and industry, and nation. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm satisfied with answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear Юй Цзіцзянь, I have a question. So you have a very interesting research and interesting presentation. And first question is, what role does the sport industry play in the development of China's national economy?
Okay, thank you for your question. In 2019, the outline of building a sport powerful country of the State Council of China point out that the sports industry should develop into a pillar industry of the national economy by 2035. This is the first time to answer the strategic direction of sports industry development from the policy level, and also the first time to position the sports industry as a pillar force to promote national economic development from the national level. In terms of industrial development trend, as a repeat rising emerging industry, the sports industry has maintained double-digit growth for more than 10 consecutive years. And in 2019, the total scale of national sports industry reaches more than 2,000 or nearly 3,000 billion RMB, accounting for more than 1% of the GDP. So in the past 10 years, the growth rate of total output and added value of the sports industry has never been lower than 10%. It's much higher than the GDP growth rate in the same period. So can be predicted that the sports industry will have a high economic contribution rate in the future. So that's all. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. I satisfied your answer. And the next question is, describe the principle of the development of the sport industry in the system of international competitors?
Thank you for your question. I want to say, firstly, the appropriate industrial scale is an important component of the international competitiveness of China's sports industry. Also, it's also an important factor for the country and or the government to consider when formulating sports industry policies. Secondly, sports industrial innovation is the innovation collection of a sports enterprise group. Although the gap between China's sports industry and the other developed country is narrowing, and the fact that China's sports industry lacks industrial innovation capacity and has fewer products which with independence intellectual property rights cannot be ignored such a fact. So it creates a passive situation of low interlocking in China's sports industry. Therefore, it is urgent to task for the development of China's sports industry is to accelerate the upgrading of China's sports industry structure and the continuous improvement of industrial competitiveness through scientific and technological innovation. Thirdly, transnational cooperation are also the most active element in the geo-economy and also an important tool in the geo-economic competition. Some scholars even pointed out that the competition of transnational cooperation is essentially a context between two countries or between the governments. Therefore, from the perspective of geo-economy, full attention should be paid to transnational economic activities. It includes transnational enterprises, international trade, and transnational investment. Finally, in addition to the general industrial mission of providing products, creating employment, obtaining profit, and technological innovation, China's sports industry should also actively integrate it into China's geo-economic strategy and seize this opportunity which brought by the Belt and Road Initiative, which can better help the country maintain or obtain the geo-economic interests. That's all. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. I satisfied your answer. Dear colleagues, have you got questions? No? No. Thanks. І дозвольте мені перейти до наступної нашої частини. Значить, дозвольте мені ознайомити присутніх з висновком про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертаційної роботи. Let me introduce those present the conclusion about scientific novelty, theoretical and practical significance of the result of the thesis. Шановні присутні, висновок стосовно наукової новизни, теоретичного та практичного значення результатів дисертаційного дослідження був опублікований і висвітлений на сайті відповідності до вимог з відповідними підписами. Тому, з вашого дозволу, якщо можна, я б хотіла б оголосити основні частини цього висновку, так, стосовно дисертаційної роботи Юй Цзіцзяня. Ви не заперечуєте? Ні? Дякую. Значить, перше, актуальність теми дослідження не викликає сумніву у зв'язку з тим, що розвиток спортивної індустрії Китаю набуває великого значення. Китай став спортивною країною, а розвиток спортивної індустрії займає вагоме значення у розвитку національної економіки в цілому. Мета дисертаційної роботи полягає в удосконаленні теоретико-методичних засад та розробки практичних рекомендацій щодо розвитку спортивної індустрії в умовах геоекономічних викликів. Для досягнення поставленої мети аспірантам в дисертаційному дослідженні було сформульовано такі основні завдання: з'ясувати сутність міжнародної конкурентоспроможної спортивної індустрії Китаю з точки зору геоекономіки, узагальнити методичні підходи оцінки міжнародної конкурентоспроможності спортивної індустрії Китаю з точки зору геоекономіки шляхом створення системи інтегральних індексів, обґрунтувати перспективну спортивну галузь з точки зору геоекономіки через встановлену систему індексів оцінювання, з'ясувати перспективи розвитку спортивної індустрії Китаю з точки зору геоекономіки, запропонувати заходи щодо стимулювання спортивної індустрії Китаю в умовах адаптації до геоекономічної моделі та потреб глобального ланцюга доданої вартості та промислового поділу праці, розробити напрямки сприяння розвитку національної економіки та Китаю за умови розвитку основних спортивних галузей економіки. Автором дисертаційної роботи особисто було проведені наукові дослідження, ним самостійно проводилися розрахунки, підтверджені гіпотези відповідно до поставлених завдань, особисто сформульовані висновки та рекомендації, підготовлені матеріали досліджень до публікації, прийнято участь та апробовано результати досліджень на наукових конференціях. Основні наукові положення та результати досліджень за темою дисертації опубліковано в 14 наукових працях, з яких 4 статті у фахових наукових виданнях України, 1 стаття опублікована в науково-метричній базі Scopus, 1 стаття у міжнародному виданні і 8 тез в матеріалах наукових конференцій. Підсумовуючи висновку, наведено, що дисертаційна робота аспіранта Юй Цзіцзяня за темою Development of the Sport Industry in the Condition of Geoeconomic Challenges, розвиток спортивної індустрії в умовах геоекономічних викликів, повністю відповідає вимогам до оформлення дисертації, які затверджені наказом МОН України від 12.11.2017 року номер 40 зі змінами і доповненнями, внесені наказом МОН України від 31.05.2019 року номер 759 та вимогам порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішень разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти, наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії, який затверджено постановою Кабінету міністрів України від 12.01.2022 року номер 44. Дисертація може бути представлена до захисту, а її автор Юй Цзіцзянь заслуговує присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент, галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування. Тобто висновок є позитивним, так, значить, і як результат розгляду і висновку, ми можемо бачити, що дисертація може бути представлена до захисту. Розпочинаємо обговорення дисертаційної роботи Юй Цзіцзяня. We begin the discussion of dissertation work by Юй Цзіцзянь. Я запрошую виступити рецензента Харченко Тетяна Олександрівна. I invite a review to speak Professor Харченко Тетяна. You are welcome.
Okay, thank you. I will start from a few words about the actual of the scientific research. China's socialist market economy continues to develop and grow, and the rapid development of the sport industry is gradually progressing steadily. The sport industry is gradually developing and has become an important supported emerging industry to directly promote the healthy economic growth of China in the new era. The relationship between the sport industry and economic development is also getting closer. When the level of economic development reaches a certain state, it will lay the foundation for developing the sport industry. When the sport industry develops to a certain scale, it will have a multiplier effect on economic growth and promote economic development. The critical time is to promote the construction of contemporary sports revitalization, as well as repeat the healthy development of the sport industry at this important historical critical moment. Currently existing research from the perspective of geoeconomy and industrial development determines that China's sport industry is faced with a double attack of the high-end blockade and low-end law. Global trends are focuses on the most common areas such as finance, trade, science, and technology. In this case, China's sport industry has to face barriers and challenges almost everywhere. Thus, the selection and study of the development of China's sport industry from the perspective of geoeconomics has important practical significance, in particular for formation the targeted development strategies. These arguments determine Yuy Цзіцзянь dissertation's work as relevant and timely, with the aim of improving the theoretical and methodological foundations and developing practical recommendations for the development of sport industry in the condition of geoeconomic challenges. The dissertation research was carried out within the framework of the scientific research plan of the following projects. First one is Fujian Province Social Science Planning Project, and second one is Henan Social Science Federation Research Project. The scientific proposition, conclusion, and recommendation set out in the dissertation are sufficiently substantiated, have a deeper scientific meaning, and are important for the development of economic science. The obtained scientific results are reliable and are based on the theoretical and empirical research. The formulated goal corresponds to the research topic, object, and subject, scientific and methodological requirements. The present dissertation work of Yuy Цзіцзянь has a logical structure. The content fully discloses the topic of scientific research. The applicant presents the material competently, logically, using modern English language and style. The content of the dissertation corresponds to its essence. There is a proper relationship between the section and subdivisions of the work. All sections contain figures and tables. Links to informational resources are correct. The results present in the work are confirmed by implementation certificates. Conclusion to the section of the dissertation and general conclusions are logical and are confirmed by the result of testing at international and all Ukrainian scientific and practical conferences. Publication in scientific specialized publications of Ukraine. International journal indexes in the scientific metric database Scopus. All of the above allows us to assert sufficient validity and reliability. The scientific novelty of the obtained results lies on the theoretical studies and questionnaire survey. The development of scientific, practical, and methodical recommendation for the development of China's sport industry in the condition of geoeconomic challenges. The most important of them are the conceptual, theoretical, and methodological foundation of the development of China's sport industry from the point of view of meeting the country's internal needs and protecting its national economy. Political and cultural security are substantiated in order to promote the implementation of China's geoeconomic development strategy. Next one is formulating axiological characteristics of geoeconomic problems of the development of the sport industry, which are based on adaptation to the new international geoeconomic model, determination of the needs of the global value chain, and industrial division of labor in order to form priority sport industry. Also will be improved system for assessing the level of international competitiveness of China's sport industry, which in comparison with existing practice is based on the use of PCA methods and geoeconomic factors of influence in order to determine the advantages of priority areas of sport industry. Also, methodological approaches to the index assessment of the international competitiveness of China's sport industry, which unlike the existing ones, is built on the basis of the characteristic of the coefficient of variation, standard deviation, and ranking of geoeconomic factors of choice. which allows to form complex characteristics regarding the indicators of the first and second level of influence. And last one is criteriation measures and the system for evaluating the international competitiveness of China's sport industry from the point of view of geoeconomics, based on the application of group decision-making techniques, in order to determine the sectoral vectors of the strategic development of the sport industry in conditions of uncertainty and multi-criteria. The practical significance of the obtained results lies in the identification and substantiation of new solutions to a scientific problem, putting forward a complex of scientifically based provision and conclusions for the development of the sport industry itself and China's national economy, proving the fully safeguard national interest and feedback the implementation of China's geoeconomic strategy. The proposed practical and theoretical recommendations are implemented in the activities of the Ministry of Education of Science of Ukraine in terms of the formation requirements for dissertation studies. The dissertation is a complete scientific work. His manuscript contains a complete set of structural elements corresponding to the established requirements: abstract, introduction, 3-section, conclusion, list of used sources, appendices. The total volume of work is 138 pages. The text of dissertation contains 28 tables, 9 figures, and bibliography of 175 sources. The dissertation is enriched with logical schemes, structure, tables, graphical interpretations, which allow to comprehensively perceive the conduct research as a detailed and generalized scientific work. The main result of scientific research were published in 14 scientific articles, 4 articles in specialized publication of Ukraine, 1 article in journal included in the scientific database corpus, the rest in other journals and conference materials. The content of the publication, the characteristic of the publication in which they are placed meets the requirements for the publication of the scientific provision of the dissertation work. All the scientific works published in co-authorship, only the author's work was used in the dissertation as indicated in the list of publication. Thus, there are reasons to claim that the dissertation research contains the author's scientific vision regarding the achievement of the set goal and the solution of the specified scientific and applied task. Characterizing the dissertation work of Юй Цзіцзянь as a whole, it should be noted that it certainly has relevance, scientific and practical significance. During the review of the work, some issues of a debatable nature, comments and suggestions arose. First of all, in order to improve the methodological base of the research, in section 1.3, more attention should be paid to the conceptual approaches research to the competitiveness sport industry. Next one, it would be expedient to transfer the table from 2.14 to 2.19 in the appendices, taking into account the identity of the approaches to the calculation of data, which are given in the table from 2.13 to 2.19 in terms of indicators B1 to B7. Next one, the analysis period in figure 2.4 is 2014 to 2020. The comparability of the spatial ratio of 3 types of sport consumption defined in figure 2.4 with the current tendency is questionable. Last one, in section 3.1, for deepening the research of the geoeconomic challenges with China's sport and good industry faces, it would be desirable to expand the statistical base of research for the period up to 2022. However, the indicated comments and wishes don't fundamentally affect the overall positive assessment of the dissertation work and not fundamental and not reduce it, rather at overall assessment. And finally, dissertation work of Yuy Цзіцзянь, Development of the Sport Industry in the Condition of Geo-Economic Challenges, which was submitted for defense to the Specialized Academic Council for obtaining the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 07 Management Administration in the specialty 073 Management according to its relevance scientifically, the theoretical level, the main result of validity, the main provision and result published in professional publication, the novelty of the statement and the practical significance meet the requirements of the order of the Ministry of Education and Culture of Ukraine. The content of the dissertation corresponds to the passport of the specialty. Thank you.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. Dear Yuy Цзіцзянь, you are given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the review. Please.
Okay. Thank you for your comments, Professor. I want to say, figure 2.4 shows with the. I want to use this figure to show that with the increasing in the proportion of the sports service industry in recent years, the consumption level of viewing and participation sports industry has also increased significantly. However, even in this background, the consumption of sports goods still in a dominant position. So this can also reflect sporting goods industry is still, or obviously, it's the advantageous sports industry nowadays in China from the side. And about the statistical data, I know the data end to 2018 is not so fresh, but the data statistics of China's customs usually have a certain degree and especially in 2019, the COVID-19 pandemic further affected the statistical work. But still, anyway, I want to say thank you for your advice. I know and I realize in the future research, I need to pay more attention to the timeliness of data, because only in this way I can ensure the scientific research, the quality of my research. So thank you for your suggestions. That's all.
Thank you very much. Tatiana, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I
Thank
satisfied.
you very much. Я запрошую до виступу офіційного опонента Штулер Ірину Юріївну, доктор економічних наук, професора, першого проректора Вищого навчального закладу Національна академія управління, місто Київ. I invite an official opponent to speak. Please.
Thank you, Olena Pavlovna. Allow me to present to you my feedback from the official opponent for dissertation of Yuy Цзіцзянь, development of the sports industry in the condition of geo-economic challenges, which submitted for the degree of the Doctor of Philosophy. My feedback was submitted to the Specialized Council on time and published on the website, so I will briefly focus on the main points of the official opponent's month's review. The first chapter is relevance of the dissertation topic. Nowadays, China's sports industry is facing difficulties such as the low degree of modernization of the industrial system, the low evolution of the realization of the industrial structure, the unreversible external structure of the sports industry and serious dependence of the part of industrial development. Whatever for the high quality development of the leading sports industry, the Chinese government has begun to pay attention to the transformation and upgrading of the industrial structure in the recent years. Second chapter is about connection of the work within scientific programs, plans, and topics. We know that the dissertation research was conducted within the frameworks of the two projects. The next chapter is about the purpose and objective of the research. Aim of the dissertation work is the improve of the theoretical and methodological principles and develop practical recommendations of the development of the sports industry in the condition of geo-economic challenges. About next chapter, it's scientific novelty in the obtained results. That lies that the depending of the existing theoretical proposition and the development of scientific, practical, and methodological recommendation for the development of China's sports industry in the condition of geo-economic challenges. Next chapter will be about theoretical and practical significance of the obtained results. While enriching the context system of geoeconomics, this research also builds in bridge between geoeconomic theory and geoeconomic practice to improve the application value of geoeconomic theory. Since the core value of the development of the sports industry from perspective of geoeconomic is to serve the national geostrategy, this research has high strategic value. This research can not only have high value in the development of the sports industry itself and China national economy, but also for the safeguard national interests other than the economy and feedback the implementation of China geoeconomic strategy. Next chapter is about the author personal participation in obtaining of the scientific and practical results. We know that approbation of the scientific and practical result presentation presented in the dissertation was carried out by the application personally. In the publishing works printed in sole authorship, individual theoretical development, setting up and conduction of all experimental studies, processing of the obtained results, scientific analysis of the research result, formulation of conclusions and proposal belong to the doctoral student. The next chapter, it will be about the list of publication of the topic of the dissertation. And we know that result of the author's research, the main scientific proposition and conclusion of the dissertation are satisfactorily covered in the 14 scientific articles. It will be 4 articles in the specialized publication of Ukraine, 1 article in the journals included to the Science of Metric Database Scopus, and the rest in the other journals and conference processing. About structure and score of the dissertation, we told the dissertation has a classic structure. It consists of introduction, 3 chapters, conclusion, a list of reference, and appendices. About the value of language and style of the dissertation, we must know that dissertation is written in complete English language, has meaningful integrity, consistently, and completeness. The style of presentation of the material corresponds to the accept of the scientific literature. And the main channel, like I am an official opponent, it's remarks and wishes of the dissertation work. The first, it will be that the author in the scientific research doesn't consider the sports industry in terms of the relationship between scientific activity in the field of sports and the training of scientific personnel. And the second one is in devoted countries like Germany, France, USA, and etc. In order to provide effective tools and mechanisms to economic subject of the sporting industry, a targeted cluster policy is implemented. So the scientific reach acquired greater theoretical significance if the author considers the foreign experience of the formation of relevant mechanisms. That's all. So about comments and all wishes of the dissertation work are not fundamental and do not reduce the overall positive statements of the work. And the last chapter, it's a conclusion of dissertation. We know that, and I told that dissertation of Юй Цзіцзянь is an independent, complete scientific work relevant, aimed at improving the theoretical and methodological principles. So, author of the dissertation, Юй Цзіцзянь, deserves to be awarded of the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in specialty 073 Management. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Dear Юй Цзіцзянь, you are given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the review. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Professor, for your question and suggestions. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for your question about the problems of sports science and technology talent. Actually, in the construction of index system, talent is really an important secondary indicators. However, in the subsequent analysis, I was not clearly analyzes this problem, but I know it's really an important element for innovation or for administration, for management or for policy making. Is really important because the competition of technology nowadays actually is the competition of talents. So in the future, I will strengthen the research in the talent field and the developed and pay more attention to the developed country, such as Germany and US or something, especially their related structural industrial policies further. So that's all. Thank you for your suggestions.
Thank you very much. Dear Professor Irina Stuller, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I'm satisfied with the answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Я запрошую до виступу офіційного опонента Іртищеву Інну Олександрівну, доктора економічних наук, професора кафедри менеджменту Національного університету кораблебудування імені адмірала Макарова, місто Миколаїв. I invite an official opponent to speak. Dear Professor Іртищева Інна, you are welcome.
Thank you. My conclusion is positive and is free, available in the internet. Now I will read only the main point. So, a recommendation, a comment of the dissertation work. Noting positively the level of scientific and practical value of the dissertation, it's necessary to note a number of remarks. First one, the work used the method of expert survey. However, it's not clear but what criteria the experts were selected. Also, it was expedition to indicate the territorial affiliation of the expert from Ukraine. Next one, the scientific work would have gained more practical significance if the author had discussed the institutional readiness of the Ukrainian economy for the government of the sport industry. Moreover, examining such characteristics as legislative innovation, effective interaction of the state, business and science, and active civic point which constitutes in the development of the sport industry and the education and sport culture. Next, the third section of the SIR does not clearly define the synthesis of strategy of the development strategy of Chinese sporting goods industry from the point of view of geoeconomics. So, the comments and suggestions expressed are not of fundamentally important, so have a developed nature, do not affect the value as a dissertation, and no read the over positive evaluation of the content and the dissertation, which solve important scientific and practical problem and will contribute the development of sport industry. My general conclusion. The author of the work, Юй Цзіцзянь, deserves the award, the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty 073 management. I finish. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Юй Цзіцзянь. You are given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the review. Please.
Okay, thank you, Professor, for your question and suggestions. Firstly, I'd like to say the experts selected for this study are also the experts who have been engaged in sports industry and sports economics research for many years. So they can fully understand the real the situation of China's sports industry. And there are also several experts who act as consultant in some transnational sports companies. So they also generally highly scientific and representative, and even most of the experts are not from did not from the developed country. They are Chinese experts, but as I know, they have long worked in the region of economics and geoeconomics. So and the advantages of them is we learned more actual situation about China compared to some foreign experts. But before this, I really have some interviews with Ukraine experts or even some Singapore experts before my writing and in my period of designing or period. And frankly speaking, this paper does not involve too much problems about the development strategy stage of China's sporting goods industry. So thank you for your suggestions, and I will further conduct in-depth research on this issue in the future, so as to can further improve the topic and make more contribution to the development of China's sports industry. So thank you for your suggestions.
Thank you, Юй Цзіцзянь. Dear Professor Irtisheva Inna, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Слово надається офіційному опоненту Леонову Ярославу Володимировичу, доктору економічних наук, доценту, професору кафедри менеджменту фізичної культури, Харківська державна академія фізичної культури, місто Харків. I invite an official opponent to speak. Dear Professor Leonov Yaroslav, you are welcome.
Thanks. I would like to begin by expressing my gratitude for the privilege to serve as an official opponent for this dissertation. The comprehensive review can be accessed on the official website of the PhD Department of Suman National Agrarian University. In this review, I will highlight the key points and the most debatable issues. Nowadays, the China sports industry is facing difficulties such as the low degree of modernization of the industrial system, the slow evolution of the rationalization of the industrial structure, the unreasonable external structure of the sports industry, and the serious dependence of the path of industrial development. National strategies such as the Belt and Road Initiative and Made in China 2025 for further accelerate the upgrading of China's sports industry, which from the lower end of the global value chain of the middle and high end. However, the upgrading of China's sports industry structure and continuous improvement of industrial competitiveness will inevitably touch and erode the global monopoly profits of the developed countries with high productivity. Therefore, under the impact, the restructuring of industrial chains, supply chains, and value chains triggered by against the backdrop of anti-globalization, trade protectionism, and especially the new crown pandemic. China's sports industry has to suffer from geoeconomic shocks represented. Therefore, from the perspective of geoeconomy and industrial development, China's sports industry is faced with a double attack of the high-end blockade and low-end law. Even nowadays, in the most core areas such as finance, trade, science, and technology, China's sports industry has to face barriers and challenges almost everywhere. Therefore, under this background, it is necessary to conduct a further in-depth examination of the development of China's sports industry from the perspective of geoeconomics and then propose targeted development strategies. Evaluating the dissertation work positively, one should point out specific debatable issues. First, when considering competitiveness, figure 1.1, it was expedient to establish the relationship of global competitiveness. Second, it was appropriate to consider in the definition of the sports, of the concepts sports industry and sports economy, pages 44 to 49. Third, it was appropriate to provide analytical data on the spending of the sports industry from the China's budget. However, the above remarks do not impact the overall high evaluating of Yuy Czitzzyan's research. According to the results of a detailed examination of Yuy Czitzzyan's dissertation and scientific publications, one should note the applicant's scientific maturity and ability to conduct independent research at a high scientific level. The review dissertation is completed independently performed scientific work characterized by integrity and significant theoretical and applied value. The topic selection of Yuy Czitzzyan's dissertation has high practical significance. The dissertation aims at the development of sports industry in the conditions of geoeconomics challenges. The work incorporates new scientific results and corresponds to the specialty 073 management. Thereafter, Yuy Czitzzyan deserves to be awarded the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy degree in the specialty 073 management. Thanks.
Thank you very much, dear Yuy Czitzzyan. You are given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the review. Please.
Okay, thank you, experts, for your suggestions and questions. And according to the research of the perspective of this paper, the competitiveness of the products, enterprise, industries, and countries involved in figure 1.1 and are all discussed from the level or background of international competition. Therefore, they also reflect their corresponding international competitiveness or global competitiveness. The reason why I didn't discuss the definition of sports economy was I thought the core of economy or geo-economy is industry. Therefore, I directly focused my attention on the definition of sports industry. But in the future research, I will also give some attention to the research of sports economy. And finally, as I mentioned before, because the sports industry is in the primary period, and the sports industry statistics work is not so perfect nowadays. And furthermore, due to different economic system and sports management system, China's sports budget mostly concentrates on public welfare undertakings, such as school sports undertakings, stadiums construction, and athletes training system in different provinces or cities. It's different from sports club in Western country. So therefore, I didn't present or use the related statistics, and some related statistics is not so sound enough as well. So that's all my answer. Thank you for your suggestions.
Thank you very much. Dear Professor Leonov Yaroslav, are you satisfied with the answer?
Thanks, I'm fully satisfied with the answer. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Юй Цзіцзянь. І за регламентом роботи спеціалізованої вченої ради ми переходимо до дискусії дисертаційної роботи Юй Цзіцзянь. Наголошую на тому, що у дискусії мають право взяти участь всі присутні члени вченої ради з приводу даної роботи. According to the rules of the Specialized Academic Council, we proceed to the discussion of the thesis of Юй Цзіцзянь. Please, Тетяна Олександровна.
Okay. As time flies.
Юй Цзіцзянь, stopping. Please, we are discussing about your dissertation.
Okay.
Okay. Please, Tatiana Alexandrovna.
Okay, I would like to say that our PhD student confidently answered all questions. It's positive. I received only positive emotions for speak with him. Among the benefits of present scientific work, I would like to say about methodological base, which I include etiological characteristic, system of assessment, creation measures, and system for evaluating the international competitiveness of China's sport industry. That's all.
Thank you very much. Please, Professor Schuller Irina Yurievna.
Thank you, Elena Pavlovna. I want to say a few words about this dissertation. It's clearly relevant. The problem raised are important. Having read the dissertation as an opponent, it should be noted that Юй Цзіцзянь successfully completed the task and received answers to them. This made it possible to obtain scientific novelty, and it's one of the develops both theoretical, methodological, and practical aspects of research. But in the future, of course, I hope that Юй Цзіцзянь will continue to highlight other important questions which related to the topic. In particular, it is necessary to focus attention of new tools and approaches of the formation of competitive advantages of the sport industry, which will be contribute to its effective function in conditions on fair and competition. In general, positively evaluation all components of complete research, like relevance of the dissertation, validity of scientific provision, conclusions and recommendation formulated in dissertation, scientific novelty, practical significance of research results, completeness and style of the presented work, issues of completeness with academic integrity, and today's public definitions like presentation, public speaking, answer for questions, I will vote yes, and think that author Юй Цзіцзянь deserves to be awarded the scientific degree of the Doctor of Philosophy in specialty 073 Management. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, Professor Irtisheva Inna Alexandrovna.
Thank you, Olena Pavlovna. I absolutely support Юй Цзіцзянь. The work and presentation today demonstrate a high level of his preparation. Therefore, I will support him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, Professor Leonov Yaroslav Volodymyrovich.
Thanks. First of all, I would like to say that I will support this dissertation on the topic development of the sports industry in the condition of geo-economic challenges. The topic of work is relevance, number of publication is sufficient, novelty is presented, and sole dissertation. This work have some debatable issues. However, Юй Цзіцзянь provides very clear answer for these discussion points. Overall, I will vote positively for the dissertation on the topic development of the sports industry in the condition of geo-economic challenges. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I say a few words about dissertation Юй Цзіцзянь. The dissertation work of Юй Цзіцзянь was performed on a current topic. Issues of physical culture and sport development is the modern world are important for both physical and moral health. The task set by the graduate student have been completed. Dissertation work is interesting, has scientific novelty, significantly published. I believe the Юй Цзіцзянь deserved to be awarded a PhD degree. Does anyone else want to speak or no?
Maybe Victoria Yurina say a few words about your PhD students.
Окей, якщо немає заперечень, тоді пропоную я обговорення закінчити і надати слово науковому керівнику дисертаційної роботи. If you don't mind, I suggest you to end the discussion and to give possibility for giving some words to scientific tutor, Professor Victoria Medved.
Thank you, Olena Pavlovna. Юй Цзіцзянь graduated from Fujian Pedagogical University in China. In 2018, he entered postgraduate studies at the Sumy National Agrarian University, the city of Sumy, Ukraine, by specialty in 073 Management. The graduate student completes the course of study, conducted research, and prepared a dissertation. During the dissertation work, Юй Цзіцзянь conducted the research on the connected with the development of the sports industry in the conditions of geo-economic challenges. Юй Цзіцзянь has fully completed an individual study plan in accordance to the educational and scientific program of the postgraduate course with a volume of 57 credits, which fully corresponds to the procedure for the preparation of higher education applicants for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Science in higher educational institutions, scientific institutions. The relevance of the research topic is beyond doubt due to the fact that the development of China's sport industry is gaining great importance. China has become a sport country, and the development of the sport industry is of great importance in the development of the national economy as a whole. The scientific proposition, conclusions, and results formulated in the dissertation work are all founded and reliable. The results of the author's research, the main scientific proposition, and the conclusions of the dissertation are sufficiently covered in the 14 scientific articles, 4 articles in specialized publication of Ukraine, 1 articles in journal included in the Science to Metric Databases Corpus, the rest in other journals. The dissertation thesis of Юй Цзіцзянь is independent, completed, qualifying scientific work, relevant, aimed at improving the theoretical and methodological principles, and develop practical recommendation for the development of the sport industry in the conditions of geo-economic challenges. The work contains new scientifically based results and corresponds to specialty on 7.3 management. I am appealing to the members of the council to support my graduate student. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Вікторія Юрівна. І тепер по нашому роботі. Нами було попередньо розроблений проєкт рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради. Дозвольте, з вашого дозволу, я його зачитаю. Спеціалізована вчена рада Сумського національного аграрного університету, Міністерства освіти і науки України, місто Суми прийняла рішення про присудження ступеня доктора філософії у галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування на підставі прилюдного захисту дисертації Development of the Sport Industry in the Condition of Geo-Economic Challenges, розвиток спортивної індустрії в умовах геополітичних викликів, за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Юй Цзіцзянь, 1984 року народження, громадянин Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища. У 2010 році закінчив Фудзянський педагогічний університет в Китайській Народній Республіці за спеціальністю фізичне виховання. У 2018 році вступив до аспірантури Сумського національного аграрного університету місто Суми, Україна, за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент. Аспірантуру закінчив у 2022 році. Сумський національний аграрний університет, Міністерство освіти і науки України, місто Суми. Дисертацію виконано у Сумському національному аграрному університеті, Міністерства освіти і науки України, місто Суми. Тема дисертації затверджена на засіданні вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету, протокол номер 7 від 26 грудня 2018 року та перезатверджена протоколом номер 6 від 4 листопада 2022 року. Науковий керівник Медвідь Вікторія Юрівна, доктор економічних наук, професор. Юй Цзіцзянь завершив виконання освітньо-наукової програми у 2022 році. 7 лютого 2023 року відбулася публічна презентація дисертаційного дослідження на кафедрі економіки та підприємництва імені професора Івана Миколайовича Брюховицького за спеціальністю 073 менеджмент, де дисертацію було рекомендовано до розгляду та захисту у спеціалізованій вченій раді. Актуальність теми дослідження не викликає сумніву у зв'язку з тим, що розвиток спортивної індустрії Китаю набуває великого значення. Китай став спортивною країною, а розвиток спортивної індустрії займає вагоме значення у розвитку національної економіки в цілому. Мета дисертаційної роботи полягає у удосконаленні теоретико-методологічних засад та розробці практичних рекомендацій щодо розвитку спортивної індустрії в умовах геоекономічних викликів. Для досягнення поставленої мети аспірантам в дисертаційному дослідженні було сформульовано такі основні завдання: з'ясувати сутність міжнародної конкурентоспроможності спортивної індустрії Китаю з точки зору геоекономіки, узагальнити методичні підходи оцінки міжнародної конкурентоспроможності спортивної індустрії Китаю з точки зору геоекономіки шляхом створення системи інтегральних індексів, обґрунтувати перспективну спортивну галузь з точки зору геоекономіки через встановлення систему індексів оцінювання, з'ясувати перспективи розвитку спортивної індустрії Китаю з точки зору геоекономіки, запропонувати заходи щодо стимулювання спортивної індустрії Китаю в умовах адаптації до міжнародної геоекономічної моделі та потреб глобального ланцюга доданої вартості та промислового розподілу праці, розробити напрямки створення і сприяння розвитку національної економіки Китаю за умови розвитку основних спортивних галузей економіки. Автором дисертаційної роботи особисто було проведено дослідження, ним самостійно проводилися розрахунки, підтвердження гіпотези відповідно до поставлених завдань, особисто сформульовані висновки та рекомендації, підготовлені матеріали досліджень до публікації, прийнято участь та апробовано результати досліджень, основні наукові положення та результати досліджень за темою дисертації опубліковано у 14 наукових працях, з них 4 статті у фахових наукових виданнях України, 1 стаття опублікована в науково-метричній базі даних Scopus, 1 стаття в міжнародному виданні, 8 тез в матеріалах наукових конференцій. Ну і тепер наступний етап, ми переходимо до процедури відкритого голосування. Прошу членів спеціалізованої вченої ради проголосувати і озвучити рішення щодо присудження Юй Цзіцзянь ступеня доктора філософії зі спеціальності 073 менеджмент. Харченко Тетяна Олександрівна.
Я повністю підтримую і вважаю, що дисертант Юй Цзіцзянь заслуговує на присвоєння ступеня доктора філософії зі спеціальності 073 менеджмент.
Ви голосуєте за, правильно, Тетяна Олександрівна? Так. Будь ласка, Штулер Ірина Юріївна.
Голосую за присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії зі спеціальності 073 менеджмент Юй Цзіцзянь. Дякую.
Дякую. Іртищева Інна Олександрівна.
Я також голосую за. Дійсно, сьогоднішній аспірант показав високий рівень, і я його підтримую.
Дякую. Леонов Ярослав Володимирович.
Я голосую за.
Дякую. Ну і мій голос теж за. Значить, дякую Юй Цзіцзяню за сьогоднішній гарний і цікавий захист. Значить, відповідності до нашого голосування у нас 5 голосів за, проти немає, і хто утримався, немає. І на підставі результатів відкритого голосування спеціалізована вчена рада присуджує Юй Цзіцзяню ступінь доктора філософії з галузі знань 07 управління та адміністрування за спеціальністю номер 073 менеджмент. Чи є зауваження щодо рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради? Немає. Тоді дозвольте привітати нашого Юй Цзіцзяня з успішним захистом. Юй Цзіцзянь, we congratulate you with your dissertation і with your scientific work. Ну і виходячи з цього, слово надається аспіранту. The word is given to Юй Цзіцзянь. Юй Цзіцзянь.
Hello.
Hello. The word is given for Юй Цзіцзянь.
Okay. Thank you. At the end of the presentation today, I want to say thank you to everybody here. As time flies, I've spent a rich and meaningful 5 years study in Sumi National Agri University. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to my supervisor, Professor Midwit. She always teaches me with her profound professional knowledge and rigorous academic attitude in the process of writing. But Professor Midwit has always given me a serious and patient guidance on my dissertation. I'd like to express my sincere thanks to all the teachers of Sumi National Agri University. They've taught me so much in the past 5 years. Your painstaking teaching opens my vision and builds a good foundation for my writing. And finally, I want to say thank you to all experts here for taking your time to review my dissertation and giving me so much useful suggestions. Last, I'd like to say thank you to the Ukraine and the people here. I can never forget your utmost help and care, especially the days in shelter of Sumi National apartment, Agri University apartment, and evacuation since the invasion from Russia. And I wish and I believe firmly that the victory belongs to Ukraine and Ukraine. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Юй Цзіцзянь. Thank you very much. Ну і на цьому засідання нашої спеціалізованої вченої ради вважається закритим. Я щиро дякую всім за роботу і сподіваюся, і бажаю всім всього найкращого.
Дякуємо дуже. Дякуємо, колеги.
Вікторія Юрівна. Дякуємо за підготовку аспіранта. Було дуже круто.